Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? This is fucking pissing me off. What the hell is wrong with this damn interface? Alright, well, appears it's a problem with my audio interface, not with my computer itself, so if you can hear me from... Alright, well, apparently you can hear me now. I'm starting over, you guys. Yippee hooray! Right. Well, wonderful. Glad you can all hear me now. I'm tired of this problem. Before, it wouldn't tell me that you could hear me. It showed that I had no audio jumping, and then you couldn't hear me, but you could hear me. Now, when it shows me the audio is jumping and that you can hear me, you can't hear me, so go figure. Anyway, this is the crappy audio that's just built into my computer. Oh, well, guess it will have to do. But anyway, let's start over. Welcome to Poetry Time, everyone. It's story time on Wednesday, which means poetry tonight. Normally I've been doing Edgar Allan Poe, but tonight I'm doing some personal originals. You couldn't hear last night's story time either, son of a bitch. Damn. Well, hello, Grey Wolf, huzzah, you're here. Hello, Crystal, huzzah, you're here. And hello, Amber, huzzah, you're here. That is more than one way to skin a horse. Yes, that is. I suppose the way I have to use is the low-res version, the low-res way. I even restarted my computer before doing this tonight. Oh well. Anyway, welcome to Storytime. Brett Picorni on Facebook. Storytime is the name of the group, 2 words with an exclamation point at the end. YouTube, bpicorni1. Go ahead and like, subscribe, share it with your friends, comment all you wish. Then Twitch, Brett Doesn't Game, all one word. So, everyone, thank you for those of you who are here. Thank you for those of you who will be joining or watching later. I fear that number will be low due to the fact that, the whole front part of the story time is blank and empty and void of sound. Regardless, oh, yes, story time, Grey Wolf, tends to change from night to night lately. It's supposed to be at 10, but I got my mind was elsewhere. All right, I'd like to hear it. It's supposed to be at 10, but I got a little distracted tonight. Anyway, tonight, instead of reading Edgar Allan Poe, I will actually be reading all original poems of my own. And these are all from back in high school and about the first year of my undergrad, so they're all a minimum of 12 years old. So there's that. It was not girlfriend time. I got caught up watching a cartoon called, what is it? Dudes of Hazmat, I think. Something like that. Anyway, original poems tonight, all of them from high school and the first year of my undergraduate career in college. So 2008 and earlier. And this is a collection called A Novella of Nonsense that I put together. And I guess I'll go ahead and get started. So here we go. A Novella of Nonsense by Brett Picorni. The following are works both short and slightly length that I happen to, how should I put it, blurt out onto sheets of notebook paper in high school when I was bored. Note that some of these are slight variations to the originals. Please enjoy. And by the way, I realize a lot of these are going to be crap. However, I do have a bit of soft spot for them due to the fact that I wrote them and, they are part of me. It's early works of mine, so if you like them, great. If you hate them, please feel free to say so. I probably won't disagree with you. Anyway, anything you want to say, you're good. Like, comment, follow, subscribe, share, all that jazz. Either way, we're getting started. The first poem coming from around 2006-2007, is called The Raven's Ink. A raisin for the raven, some butter for your cup. Come have a drink, me lofty lad, and the raven will leave the pad. The pad of ink for your quill so dark and daint, pluck a feather from the paint. The raisin flew without a spark, knocking down the buttered cup, unfilling, respilling the raven's pad of ink, the pad of ink for your quill so dark and daint, pluck a feather from the paint. And that is quite a comment there. Thank you for that. Anyway, moving on to the next of the poems. This one is called Lost in the Wind, again from around 2006-2007. A flower so kind, O beauty divine, must never be lost in the wind, for a flower so kind, O beauty divine, is wrought without a trend. However, the flower so kind, O beauty divine, is not my greatest friend, for rather the flower so kind, O beauty divine, I must have lost in the wind. Following that, this one is called Lower Regard, from February 13th, 2007. You mean so much, and yet I am something so little as to bring about big talk on lines. Yet speaking is not my game in accordance with the eternal flame. I stutter and stumble and try, but a lack of confidence keeps me from trying too hard. Please don't think of me with any lower regard. Next up, from October 24th, 2006, this one is called Jeevesy. And by the way, a lot of these poems I had a difficult time transcribing because although I had written them in a notebook, they were written in pencil, and from all the wear of the notebook rubbing against itself in my bag and such, a lot of the pencil smeared in a way that it was almost illegible. So it was very difficult, if I remember right, to actually write these down. But I got them, so there's that. Anyway, back to it, this Jeevesy from October 24th, 2006. The final fight, or the final flight, much obliged to answer your call, but there is much to despair. I've much to be lost and much to be found. The future regret is set in the past tense for those who linger on a bet. There are many to please, and still many at ease, yet none to the contrary, no, none of that sweet contradiction, which makes our lives what they are, which way they lose themselves, through time, through space, through thought and rough lace. To die for to dream, and lose in a team, without all the grace we die lost in space. Yet this generation has run out of time, there's no time to start over again, rebuff is not an option to bend, for this sword we wield stings blade like a lime. And the lion's gate is left wide open. The lion's hate is nearly broken, for he realizes their fiendish moves and decides to crouch with delight, staring down the infernal plight, rather. Plight which I laugh, for plight is not my craft, and the color purple does not rhyme, just as the jokers become lost in time. So gather, if you wish, to feast on the eternal dish, spun to perfection on the brick of inflection. Only feast, if you wish. Alas, this joke is but a bet, for the life of which we've relived not yet. If the lion cannot crouch at all yet, then the memories most dear we soon will forget. And next, from 2006, this one is called Hipsy. A graceful time, a pacing rhyme of the wonderful father and his wandering dreams. A daughter or the son, a sweet like honey bun, or the daydreaming teen, as confused as a dream. The dazed and confused are not quite the muse, no, not that perfect son, not with a stake of well done. So make the stakes and break the stakes. The maker can be the breaker of the stakes that one takes. The mugger, the brother, the mother, the hugger. So dream, if you will, a little dream, and fulfill that heart of which to bear so kind a thought to care. Like I said, if you like any of these, feel free to tell me so. Say so. Let me know if any of them catch your ear. If any of them you have any criticism or anything like that, please do say so. I would love to hear everything you have to say, positive, negative, whatever it is. Trust me, if you hate it, I probably hate it too. For this one, it is around 2005-2006. It's called Just a Thought. As I follow this endless line of thoughts, I find in my mind that these thoughts are all brought with sincerest intentions. For you I must know the truth of all truths, and soon it will show that today is the dawn of a brand new day, new way to show that I care. Careless care, full of endless thought in my mind that will rot the thought of an endless thought. A thought is never the same, quite unlike the real thing. The real thing, not so new, not untrue to this day. I will pray for the price to pay, for the thought of loving you. I like that one. I do. I quite like that one, actually. Why am I sitting close to the mic? I'm not even using that mic. There, closer to the actual computer. I hope the music and my voice are at decent levels. And I'm glad to hear you like them, Amber. I like most of them too. Some of them I'm just like, well, that's nonsense. But then again, Teenage Brett was full of nonsense, and I'm sure they all had meaning. I just can't remember for the life of me what it is. In some of them I do. Kind of cliche. Which one? That last one, just a thought? I will turn the music down a hair. Alright, it's down a bit. And yes, Teenage Brett was all about the cliche. So anyway, next one from 2005-2006. There is some stuff, if I remember right, that's a little borrowed. So there's that. This one is called My Wish, and this one's from 2005-2006, I believe. Nothing is a lost cause unless it's an excuse. Therefore, diligent efforts must be profuse. A smile a day keeps the pain away. That is why you must reach out and say, what is it that is in your heart? Otherwise, it will feel like being struck by a dart. If I had one wish, I know what it would be, to stroll through the air and watch the bottomless sea. So keep it close, that wish of yours, and time will open up all of the doors. That one was shit. I don't mind saying that one was absolute shit. Something tells me this one's going to be shit too. It's from 2005-2006. I'm just a guy. How can I relate to anything? How can I feel? How can I care? After all, I'm just a guy. But that means nothing. The answers I can bring, the emotions that I can heal with the heart of a teddy bear, the answers are written in the sky. I can be inconsiderate, but who is not here and there? I can be self-absorbed, but which person on this earth is not? Perfection is a virtue, but it can be achieved through greatness and a kind and forgiving heart. That was better than I thought it would be. Oh my. From January 31st, 2006. Reflections of the past. Note that this was for a story I was writing, but never got. I started writing, but never got around to it. Oh my. Let's see. I breathe into the soft, quiet wind. Nature speaks to me from its earthly haven, and a lucid calmness spread over the land. A sort of sadness fills the air, the kind of sadness that is only found at funerals. As I now lie awake in my bed, I think about the memories once lost and now haunt my dreams. Happy becomes sad, sad becomes lonely, and a lonely heart must change, else it will affect those around it. Missing someone is a part of human nature, but I did not think that it would hurt this much. I remove all of the pictures of good times shared from my room. It is too painful to put them back up right away. I know that this is what old age brings, but I was never going to be ready. Our wedding was a joyful one, and most of our friends are still alive and well. I am who I am, and nothing can make me any different. It is only through reflection into our pasts that truth of all sorts can be attained. Yes, there's a lot of cheese in Teenage Brett, there is. You're not wrong. Oh, and here's one of my strange ones, yes. Let's see, this is from March 22nd, 2006. It's entitled WTF. Oh my. I am me, and me is I. Who are I? No, I not. Am who I am is good enough. Am who I am is strong enough. Am who I am. One with nothing, I am. Surrounded by thoughts, but nothing to write. I hear the sound of the air conditioner, but the room feels as though it is getting hotter. People cough, people laugh, and obsessive compulsiveness is getting on my nerves. Stream of consciousness, possibly the stupidest of all writing styles, but it gets the job done. Others not only read the author's story, but also his life, his personality, perfectly squeezed into every word. I am one man. I am. I ask, what's going on? They say so. Say nothing at all to an empty wall of an am. Wow, this makes no sense, but in a sense it is too perfect to refuse, denying the fact that it has any sense to it at all. I have read and reread up to this point so many, yet the confusion is all getting clearer. At times, I am. Eat this roast beef sandwich, but I don't want to. I signed up for napkins and a warm and friendly handshake, but forgot the latter. The latter is now up for grabs, but too late. I saw it first. Don't worry. It wasn't that great anyway. Once again, I am reread my person summed up in the whole of a page, and I forgot my ring. I am. Have you no shame denying that whale a right to hug a dolphin? On the contrary, 'twas the dolphin doing and receiving the hugging. Out of your mind you are, old chap, and don't you forget to throw that mouldy cheese into old Spike's mouth. I am. Once again, reread as though lost in an endless space in the strangest trunk. Oh, look, a distraction! I am. Escape from the wild mountain slug racing trail and follow the trail of goo. Please do not step on any of the live animals on your right. The left ones don't matter. I am. Confusion strikes at the side and heart of an angry lion, and my watch says it's time to lunch. No! Time to run! That's right, time to run. Time to fly. Time to get in the shuttle and take off toward the subway of the sun in the sky. Time to take action in the battle over the Mothman hybrid. Time to realize I am me. And there you have it. WTF. Next up. This one is from somewhere between 2005 and 2007. It's called Valentine's Day. Oh dear. My Valentine, sweet Valentine, won't you be my Valentine? A heart of gold is never whole unless you are mine to have and to hold. Forever, my dear, to lose you I fear. Please do not leave, don't leave me, my dear. However I dream, our love won't a dream, but mine in time it will seem that I were an ant compared to our love. Unfaithful I can't betray what is loved. Through Valentine two hearts can combine. Through a cold winter's day, love truly shines. I hadn't had a Valentine ever at that point. Oh, and glad to hear you liked WTF and that you think it's worth a rewrite, although I don't know if I would be able to rewrite it at this point because it was such a long time ago and I don't have the same mind I did back then. I'm a completely different person. There are elements of myself that's the same, but I'm a completely different person, quite frankly. I'm a lot more chilled and relaxed than I was back then. I was so stressed all the time. Still fairly stressed now and then, but regardless, I was much more strange. I'm still very strange, though. It's a different kind of strange, I suppose. Anyway, this next one is called, from February 7th, 2007. It's called As I Was Crying. Ugh. All right, here we go. It's going to be terrible. As I was crying, the pain went away. As I was crying, the sadness set in. But as I was crying, there dawned a new day, and as I was crying, I asked you to stay. Yet when I was still, you left me alone, and when I was still, you left me for trying. But when I was still, I didn't wail or moan, because when I was still, you picked up the phone. And then there were none to join in the fun, yes, then there were none to see me break free today. And then there were none to fire the gun, yes, then there were none to follow the pun. But as I was crying, those thoughts of you dying. As I was crying, the past fading away, because as I was crying, you never were trying to think of me crying or think of me dying as I dreamt away. And as I was crying, I thought of you twice, once saving the mice and once rolling the dice. The instants passed within moments of each other. I actually really liked that one. More than I thought I would. Alright, let's move on. This next one is from February 7th, 2007 as well. Same day. This one's called The Never-Ending Road. I walked along the deserted highway alone. I was among the dregs of silence, so crude and I so ignorant to the fear that should have belonged to me. As I walked through the darkness surrounding me, the music of awry and the horn of indignity began to sound. I veer which way I can, but silence surrounds. I take the awful bound, but silence surrounds. I find the thoughts which drown as silence surround. Who could be around as silence surround? My thoughts are swiveling on a mindless flow. Fear begins to swirl as I recognize the terrible blow. Alas, could a vehicular mass be ploughing through the snow? No. As I turn in the snow, no glow, no flow, no snow. Gone in my mindlessness, I am without consciousness in this puppet show. I continue on the path of confusion that is this endless road, but to no avail. I dream, I scream, I beam and wail. To no avail. As silence surrounds, I search the grounds, to no avail. My progress close to none, and I am miles from the sun. If I will reach whatever it is I try to reach, I will be well past done. A dreamless sleep, too good to be true, the deepest sleep to be rekindled anew, yet something stirs the silence anew. I feel lonesome, too good to be true, and out of the blue, silence anew. A gust of wind feels hotter than air, something follows me on the path. Do I dare? It is getting closer, ever closer, and the situation getting grosser as I proceed through silence anew. But what is there to view through silence anew? Anything can go askew in silence anew. I can feel its breath on my neck in silence anew. But as soon as I turn to view, silence anew. Can it exist beside in my mind? Just when my doubts arise, it strikes me from behind. The torturer unknown has got me thrown. This cannot be a dream, not even of the torturous kind, for when I turn to view, my mind is askew. Once I round, but silence around. There is nothing to be found as silence around. Why is nothing round as silence around? I am close to being broken, mental images speaking to me, beating me, dreaming me, preening me for nervous tics and habits to be spoken, yet never to be broken. What hoax could startle a lion in a cage but that of reality biting you in the arse? Then again, you hear it prowling through the grass. Yet when it comes to pass, I am at the end at last. The endless highway has come to an end, but what end will depend on the type of silence to surround you at the dead end. The end. Well, that was something. Glad you liked it, Mr. Grey Wolf. Looks like I've still got a few more here. This one is from 2007. It's called Defenseless Being, and this is the last of the poems from my high school days. Oh, this is probably going to be terrible. We'll see. I stare over the yard of 1,000 acres, come and to come, and those before and after will do and have done. 'Tis no surprise it eases the pain of the 1,000th year that will come again. Yet kind is your voice across that line, the one which ever so bends back in time, fading away. And from there dawns a new day of passion and play for all to enjoy, for all to enjoy. That wasn't so bad, was it? I'm going to have a smidge of brandy. And to answer your question, yes, I do still write. I don't write as much poetry as I used to, but I do still write. I wrote a few things recently, actually. Good heavens, I am so sorry. Ms. Grey Wolf, I apologize. How could I make that stupid mistake? Please forgive me if you will. It would appear I've been drinking. That was a little bit of a reference, but if you didn't get it, that's all right, because it was obscure. It was obscure. Anyway, that was the end of my high school days. Now is a little bit of writing from my college days, the early on, that is. First one is from March 30th, 2008. It's called Roll the Dice. Nice to roll the dice on a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity called life. Try it, buy it, go for more, score for 4, and lock the door. The 3 who die will never try as hard as the 4 who lived to tour the world in their opportunity called life and more. Bit of a tongue twister there. Not sure what the point was of that one, but a little bit of a tongue twister. Next one from April 2nd, 2008. This eye sees all. This eye sees all to fall, all to brawl, all to call on the forces of nature for a little inspiration that they need here and there. So if you have called, the eye has seen what it needs in order to dream of a day when its dreams will no longer be filled with those of 1,000 memories and dreams that were broken. So help it break free by filling the eye with sight. Allow it to use your vision for a day, and there will shine a new way to the lighthouse that guides the ships from oblivion unto the path of glory and glorious depositions of irony. Okay, all right, I suppose that was a thing. Next up, also from April 2nd, 2008. This one has no title, or maybe the title's just called No Title. I need more silliness in my life. I need more silliness, more joy, more to laugh about, more to cry about, not in sadness, but in laughter. Have you ever laughed so hard that you couldn't help but tear up? If you haven't, you're a liar. So go play the lute, you crazy flute. Flit through your hair off of a heavy metal dare. And don't forget to take the trash out, but please salvage the suit. There's only one hole punched through and through, so keep your cool, or I'll punch you again. But this time I won't use my pinky, I'll use my whole fist. So dare me, I dare you. Just dare me and I'll scare you to death. No, only halfway, because you're too young to die such a tragically silly death. Then again, I could use some more silliness in my life. So let's not loaf around or veg out. Let's go out and seek out what time there is to destroy the parking lot, and in the meantime find something for this light-headed, drowsy feeling I get when I sleep too much and wake up before I can finish my sleeping too much. I don't have words. Nor a title, but I don't have words. All right, next up. Oh, there's no date on this one. But apparently it's called Nonsensical Novelty. What is it that makes up a nonsensical novelty such as this line? And what is the love of a nymph in comparison to the love of a drunken significant other? What is it that makes what it is what it is? Tell me, or I'll... Wait. Don't touch that screaming baby seal. It wants to say something, for it has been waiting its turn, and now you so rudely interrupt. Speak, baby seal, but wait. Otters can't talk? Now I am seeing what I used to see, and my typing skills are... Now I am seeing what I used to see, and my typing skills are deteriorating almost as fast as my mind and my sanity, so send me to the loony bin to laugh it up with the other nonsensically loopy geniuses who just can't get enough of not making any sense. Well, that was a thing. It happened. It was a novella of nonsense, I'll give it that. Let me read you another one. It's not in the novella of nonsense, but it is one that I wrote in college. This one I remember liking back in the day. It's called And All I Could Hear Was the Sound of the Air Filling the Room. Exactly. All righty. That's the perfect response to that last poem. It's just... Okay. Here's this one, though. Death, cast your ghastly grip. Life, hold your bountiful pleasures. Exchange your hearts and bound them in leather. Love, bring your blindness inside. Hate, let your haughty heart lie. Trade for the other and cast it aside. Hunger, you dream, you teem with desire. Fulfillment, you flaunt, taunt all the empty. Give it away, more will be wanted, and all will be lost. Silence, you reach with untimely manner. Noise, if not unwanted, unnoticed. Now go with grace as a floating lotus. Pain, sear yourself into memory. Pleasure, a short-term thought, long-term sought. Bring them together where sadists are caught. Cold, feel sick and sweat. Hot, catch a cold and shiver. Traded for not a sliver and quiver. Go, dry, long without weather. Dry, go long without weather. Wet, drenched to the neck. flitter and fold till all reach the nether. Anarchy explode into ignorance, surround the gloom. Order, hushed silence enter the librarian atmosphere. All I can hear is the sound of the air filling the room. So when I wrote this one, I was in the Taco Bell on University of Florida campus in, a building that doesn't exist as it did anymore. It's no longer there as it was. Kind of sad if you ask me. But anyway, I wrote it while I was in there, and the main thing I was focusing on was the sound of the loud air conditioner up above to the right. And I believe that poem actually has something to do with the closing of that Taco Bell, because it was, I think, the last day it existed, that it was open. I could be wrong about that one. I did write a poem at one point about the last day of that Taco Bell, though. Regardless, I think that I'm done for the night. It's nearly midnight, and I have a 6:30 a.m. workout, so I'm going to call it. Oh, here we go. One more poem from you. All right, we'll call it a night with this one final poem I just found, and it's just called Another Poem. Oh, this one's from 2011, it looks like. If only the air were as crisp as it is now, the stars almost too clear, the trees gently swaying, another so near. To sit and to know is all I should ask, for one by my side and not as a task. I would listen to a nothing that grew into all. What else would I need? Only a one to help plant the seed. Desire, satisfaction, bliss, the works. It all comes with one thing, and the thing is a one. It gives reason to sing. But I should remain quiet and stand only still. Nerves work me to fright, and overthinking overdoes in the darkness of light. That's why it's just easy to stare at the stars, to wonder what's up there, with that one by my side, perhaps causing a stare. But only for seconds, for a glance isn't enough. And that one feels the chill of night morning breeze, a missing warmth that I'll fill. I actually like that one. I do. I like that one quite a bit. And yes, you are most certainly welcome. Smexy, that's a fun word. And hello, Mum, huzzah! Glad you're here, even though you missed it. Perhaps I'll see if I can find one more poem for all of you, because I know I do have some poems in here. They're somewhere in here. Well, here's one. Here's one. This is a more recent one. Yes, ending on a high note. That last one. I really like that one, so maybe I'll read that again after this one. But good morning while it's still morning. Good noon when the clock strikes soon. Good after and a day filled with laughter. Good evening from a day full of dreaming. Good night, may it bring you delight. A full heart and contented soul, and on occasion a heavy toll. I'll join you to dream, and I'll have you to hold. Whether brought out in verse or in forms much more terse, I live for this dream of lands we'll traverse. Not bad. That one I wrote, when did I write it? A few days ago, actually. About a week ago. June 28th, so a week and a few days. So there's a recent poem for you. But I do want to read that last one more time, the Another Poem. I like that one a lot, actually. If only the air were as crisp as it is now, so you're getting an encore of it. The stars almost too clear, the trees gently swaying, another so near. To sit and to know is all I should ask, for one by my side and not as a task. I would listen to a nothing that grew into all. What else would I need? Only a one to help plant the seed. Desire, satisfaction, bliss, the works. It all comes with one thing, and the thing is a one. It gives reason to sing. But I should remain quiet and stand only still. Nerves work me to fright, and overthinking overdoes in the darkness of light. That's why it's just easy to stare at the stars, to wonder what's up there, with that one by my side, perhaps causing a stare. But only for seconds, for a glance isn't enough, and that one feels the chill of night morning breeze, a missing warmth that I'll fill. Yes, something about that one. Oh, Amber, that's quite the comment. You could read a shampoo bottle to us. I just like being read to. I almost looked up an audiobook earlier to listen to while I was playing with my daughter. Well, I will gladly be your audiobook. And more Peter. Crystal, not bad. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Anyway, everyone, that has been another story time, another poetry time Wednesday. And I hope you enjoyed yourselves as much as I enjoyed myself delving into the past. Perhaps one day I'll be able to find a lot of the other poems I've written. I've written so many. So very many. A lot of them crap, but it's okay. Some of them pretty decent, I think. Regardless, hope you all have a wonderful night. Until next time, I bid you adieu. And may you have a wonderful evening. Tomorrow, we will resume with Dracula, Bram Stoker's Dracula, at chapter 23? No, chapter 22. Do I put my recent poetry in my music? Good question. The answer is no. And that's because I've transferred from writing poetry to writing music. I write a lot more music than I write poetry these days. So, to answer your question, I've thought about it. I don't believe I've ever put one of my poems in a song. Anyway, thank you for the question. Thank you for sticking around. And thank you all for being here. Much love and appreciation, and I will see you tomorrow. And good night. Adieu. 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 And agreed, it is the same. Music is a form of poetry.